How is everyone doing today? And in this video, I am going to do a tier list for Zenless Zone 0. And the main thing I want to say really quickly before we get into the tier list is that let me know feedback on the model itself. I did want to put this here just because I don't want it to just be a blank screen, but I also did not want to be on the face cam today. So I would like to know what y'all think about the model. Do y'all like it? Do y'all not like it? Let me know what you do and don't like about it. I do want to get a new one in the future or something like that, but I just wanted to have something on screen while I talk to it's not just a plain screen of the tier list and that's it. But let's go ahead and get into the tier list itself, which is going to be basically the Zenless Zone 0 tier list, and we're just gonna have all the characters ranked up. It's been a minute since I played a couple of these characters, but I do know with certain characters that have come into the game, they've been really big buffs to overall the meta and how it's been. So we're gonna start from random picks and we're just gonna throw them up and down based on how I think they are in the meta right now. And we are going to be rating both Caesar and Jane, or not Caesar and Jane, but Caesar, not Bernice, because Bernice is currently not out and we haven't had the time to test her. So that's going to be what we're going to do today. So first of all, what we're going to start, we're going to do something a little bit easy, get a little bit of a baseline. I do think someone like Ellen and Zhu Yin are currently in S tier because these are only DPSs available out at the moment when it comes to using these guys. One is a burst DPS and one is a hyper carry main DPS, and they both put out some really great damage. And overall, with the limited amount of DPS that we have that are up to this power, there's a good spot for them to be in the S tier. The next character I want to put in that is also going to be in the S tier is also going to be Qingyi, and we're going to move ourselves down here a little bit in a while once I get farther into the tier list. But Qingyi as well being a really great stunner, with able to giving us that nice stun damage multiplier, which allows us to be able to get more damage off of people like Zhu Yin, off of damage like someone like Ellen. There's just a lot of different characters that are able to use Qingyi, especially with their team passive, which allows us to be able to work with having these characters on any team because she works with any attack character. So Qingyi is a really great character overall, with the stun damage multiplier bonus, her having quick stun, which is a really great thing for her, and overall just her universal application to every team that's possible right now. And with how strong the police team is right now, or the PubSec team, this is a really good thing for them right now as well. So they have a plethora of options when it comes to using someone like Qingyi, and she's a pretty universal stunner, something that Ambi was previously before Qingyi came out. Going into the next character that is going to be on the list, man, it's kind of hard to fill in everything else when I kind of want to finish the S tier, but going into the next character under S, I would have to put someone like Soldier and Nekomata. These two characters definitely really good in DPS. I still think they're really up there, and right now these two characters are getting buffs as well. We have someone like Nekomata, we have someone like Soldier. Nekomata gets a boost from having Jane on the team and will have a boost from Caesar as well, because Jane is able to make these assaults crit, which she can make happen quite quickly. And then same thing goes for Soldier. Soldier's about to get buffed when Bernice comes out, because when a character is burnt, guess who gets more damage off of the relic set? And that is going to be someone like Soldier. So yeah, these two characters are actually about to get buffed right as this new patch comes out, with Bernice and also with Soldier. So someone like these two are actually doing really well and are about to get a big power spike, but not to the likes of something like Ellen and Zhu Yin. Those guys are still in their own tier. Those guys have a lot more power to pack into those characters rather than someone like Soldier and Nekomata. But these characters are still by far really good DPSs to have regardless, and it's a really good thing that these guys are already getting buffs. Nekomata has been getting buffs since having Jane, and we also get Caesar coming out, so it's going to be really good for her. And not only that, Soldier is still going to get buffs as time goes by, because we have someone like Bernice coming out, and then not only Bernice, we also have somebody like Caesar who's going to be a little bit more universal as well. And not only that, we're also going to have more perfection mates that will come out in the future, most likely, that are going to help out with soldiers. This is a really cool thing and all when talking about Soldier, when talking about Nekomata, how they're about to get buffed, and this is a pretty good thing for them. The next character to add onto the list, we're going to add someone like Sokaku in A. The reason I say Sokaku in A, I think she's a really good support right now. Definitely one of the better picks for the ice team for sure, and she can be used in certain teams when it comes to the attack boost that she gives, but primarily she's going to be used for the ice team, and there's not much else to say about that. The only problem with her is that she does give slow animations, and it takes a long time for her to get off the field once you put her in with the chain attack. So having a chain attack in and out, being able to proc fly the flag, a lot of these take a really long time and also don't have any vulnerability, which kind of sucks for her. So she is going to be lower in the ranking, but she's still a pretty good support, and as many supports, they're usually going to dominate in the tier list. So Kaku's going to stay up here. The next character is going to be the god tiers of supports, and we're putting someone like Nicole up here in the S tier because yes, Nicole is by far one of the strongest supports in the game for sure, without a doubt. When it comes to all that she can do, 40% defense drop, team damage bonus with her signature, her energy relic set also is going to be able to have that damage bonus, so that's another bonus that you're putting onto Nicole. You also have ether damage bonus if you're going to use someone like Zhu Yin, or you're going to use someone that is going to be ether damage in the future. Nicole is such a good universal aspect to a lot of different teams, and not only that, another universal buff to every ether unit that's going to come out. I don't see how they're going to make a character better than Nicole in regards to she has defense drop, she has damage boosting, she also has grouping, which is a pretty big thing as well, and there's a lot of uses that you can use for Nicole, and she's able to quick assist in and out really quickly with using her skill or anything else that's going to help her out with bringing out that orb that's going to suck in the enemies. There's a lot of really cool stuff that Nicole's able to do, and definitely a character you should 100% invest in when it comes to using them on a team. The next few characters are going to be, this is going to be super hard, I'm not going to lie. Next character is going to be Coleta. She did get fixed in the amount of days that she's able to do. She is also pretty good at dazing as well, not to the likes of Lycan, which we can go ahead and throw up here in the S tier as well. These guys right here are some absolutely powerhouses with what they're able to do. Ellen and Zhu Yin for the amount of DPS that they have. We have someone like Qingyi with how universal her stun is and how good her stun is with giving stun damage multiplier, which is pretty big as well. And then we also have Nicole, CC, amazing defense drop, amazing team boosting, and also ether damage boosting. This is all very good as well. And then we have someone like Lycan, same thing, stun damage multiplier, which is pretty big when you're stunning enemies. And then you also have the amount of ice pen that he's able to give for the ice team, which is pretty big for him too. And he's just really good at dazing and really fast at dazing, while someone like Coleta, same thing, she's really fast at dazing, but other than that, there's not a really crazy amount of things you can do with Coleta, but she is one of the better dazers because we have very little of them. Right now, what we're going to look at is we're going to see that she is really nice when it comes to using her on the Belobog team, but the problem is we don't know when the Belobog team is going to get any buffs because the only characters that have 5 stars in them are someone like Coleta, and then you have someone like Grace, who right now Grace isn't in the best of situations. Is she getting buffed? Yes, because she is getting a relic set, and now that I think about it, this is going to be a little bit hard. I think I need to move Lycan down 1 and then use Coleta down 1. Because the reason I'm doing this is because Qingyi is in another, I guess you say, arena than someone like Lycan. Qingyi is giving universal stun damage multiplier with her hold attack. She's able to consistently stun really quickly, and then not only that, she's able to work with any team, while Lycan right now is stuck on maid slash ice team. And although this gives him a little bit of wiggle room, it's not as universal as someone like Qingyi, so I am going to drop him down 1 really quickly. And then for Coleta, of course, we can't put Coleta and also Lycan in the same tier, so I am going to be putting Coleta in B. But that doesn't mean that Coleta is bad in any way, shape, or form. She's still a much better stunner than someone like Ambi, or Ambi can be really good as well. But when it comes to raw performance between someone like Coleta and Ambi, or someone like Coleta and Lycan and Qingyi, these guys are tiers apart. They're going to be in different tiers because they have different power values. Just because Qingyi's more universal, she stuns really quickly. Lycan is really good when it comes to daze, and also has really good significant boosts in damage for the ice team or whoever else is going to be using him on the team because of the stun damage multiplier. And then Coleta, she's just really good at stunning and also has really high anomaly buildup as well. To be honest, Ambi can be put on the same tier as Coleta just because Ambi, from what I know, is a faster stunner than Chingy and Lycan, if I'm not wrong, or something like that. Or it's just Chingy, if I'm not wrong. But Ambi is still a really good pick, especially if you have her E6 or you have her M6, which is a pretty big boost for the energy that she has, which allows her to get a lot of the skills out, which is going to be a big portion of days on the character. So it's a really good thing, in my honest opinion, when it comes to Ambi still being a really good option for a lot of the stunners that are missing in the game. She's a really good pickup, and plus she's free, so it's a really cool thing to see. Coletta's still very strong, don't get me wrong. I think having these two guys in the same tier is a little wrong, but with Ambi being as fast as she is in stunning, she has a lot of different moves that allow her to get a lot of days off, like her chain attack, like having her skill off. She has the hold attack off of her strings. A lot of really good stuff that Ambi is able to do. So I'm going to put Ambi and Coletta in the same tier right now. This can change, definitely. I haven't had a lot of time to play with Coletta that much, so if anybody in the comments can vouch for her and say that she's right there with Lycan, or she deserves to be here under Ambi or above Ambi, let me know in the comments. I haven't had the chance to try her out that much in other content, so this would be really cool to know of. But right now, I'll have these guys in the same page. Right now, what we're looking at left over, I do want to put someone like Billy and Anton in D. Right now, they're not in the best of state. Right now, the electric team is non-existent in the meta. Same thing goes for Billy. We have a lot better options right now in the game that are going to allow you to do more damage, do a lot more. And especially with the anomaly buffs we are seeing right now, it's a little bit better to use more options that are not Billy and Anton, just because of how hard it is to work with them. They can do work, and I'm pretty sure anybody can build these characters to work in the end game, but the problem is it'd probably be easier if you had any of these characters above them, and I'm pretty sure that's not something that can be disputed. Another character that is going to go around this area, Corrin. I've seen some crazy stuff with Corrin, I'm not gonna lie. With certain supports and Coronet M6, yeah, she's going to do some nasty damage, I'm not gonna lie to you. But for the most part, Corrin, I do think realistically, same thing with these three guys. Corrin doesn't have a lot of iframes on her moves, so her being able to hold her attacks when it comes to her skill, when it comes to her ultimate, it's not really possible for her because she doesn't have someone like Caesar who's gonna come out later on. But when Caesar comes out, this may change for the most part. So these three guys are gonna stay in D for the most part. Not really usable, can be used, but probably wouldn't invest in them if I could invest in any of these characters above. The next character is going to be Lucy, and I think Lucy's gonna get a big buff, specifically with Caesar coming into the game and Bernice and having Piper here as well. Lucy's gonna have a monumental buff coming out later, and to be honest, I might actually put Sokaku in B now that I think about it. With Lucy having not only Caesar but also Bernice and also having Piper here as well, I might have to put Lucy in A and Sokaku in B, because Lucy is able to give an attack buff with the Chiron effect on A, and she's also do sub DPS off field if you have an actual built Lucy. So this is actually a really good thing. So realistically, with the amount of animation time that it takes for Sokaku to leave the fight, when it takes the amount of time for you to get your fly the flag off, and for the fact that she mostly is only played when you play Ice Team, Sokaku goes down one, just because her pool of usable teams for the most part is usually only ice, while someone like Lucy has a lot of different avenues with someone like Soldier, with someone like Piper, with the upcoming characters like Bernice and also Caesar. It's a lot of really crazy stuff to look at when it comes to how these characters are going to shape up as soon as these other characters come out. Now the next character we're going to be looking at is going to be someone like Rina, and Rina right now is in a weird spot. I actually don't know where she goes, because realistically she might be in B and she might be in A. The reason I say this is because apparently her pen drop doesn't work as good as a lot of these other characters in the game right now when it comes to full-on defense drop, and I thought it would be around this area if it worked the way I thought, which was pen ratio was the amount of damage that goes through the defense, and it quite effectively makes that portion of damage think that the defense is 0, and then the rest goes through the normal defense calculations. But it seems like pen drop is just not that great compared to something like attack percentage or defense drop boost. So right now I actually don't know where to put Rina as she stands. She kind of doesn't see a lot of play right now. She might get a buff later, or she might be getting a buff with the upcoming characters coming out. She's pretty cool for anomaly teams. She's pretty cool for certain Ellen teams, because I know some people don't like Sokaku how long she takes, so they run Rina in instead to be able to make her go in and out really quickly, to get those quick assists out really fast. So honestly, this can be put anywhere between A and B. I do want to say possibly A, just because she takes no time in terms of her animation. She's off the field very quickly. You throw in the skill, you leave, the skill happens immediately, and then you quick assist off for Ellen, or you quick assist off for whoever else you're using. Will it be Ellen or a shock team with someone like Anton for the, you know, Grace, Rina, and Anton team? Right now, honestly, don't know where to put her. You could kind of put her in the middle of these two. I'm just going to put her right here. And then the next few characters, I think, is going to be a pretty fun thing. Ben, in all honesty, I hate rating him where I rate him, because I don't like Ben personally. I know he has use. I know he can be strong. He has crit rate percentage boost. He has a health extender. I don't want to say shield anymore, because I do think Caesar has an actual shield, while Seth and Ben have a health extender, which I think that's a better way to say it. But he has crit rate bonus, high days, high anomaly, health extender, and he has a follow-up that allows him to parry for free, which is a pretty cool thing for him to have. I do think he's a pretty strong character. I might bump him up to B because of those bases alone, because he has a lot of really good stuff onto him. Just haven't had the time to build him. One day we'll do it. I don't know when, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and put him in B. So the next few characters, right now, Grace, she's about to get a buff. She's doing really good in terms of where she's at in the meta. Well, not that great right now, but can be good later on. I don't want to put her in A because she's not inconsistent right now versus someone like Nekomata and Soldier. As soon as Bernice and Caesar come out, I want to see her performance realistically, but in terms of the anomaly meta, she is not there right now. She is going to be eclipsed by a lot of the characters that are coming out for the anomaly meta, just because a lot of these other characters have a little bit more easier of access to the anomaly buildup versus someone like Grace. And not only that, someone like having Shock on the team. Shock isn't the craziest reaction in the game, while we have something like Assault, who does absolutely numbers. Something like Grace being on the field and proccing Shock is really only there to proc the disorders, and if you're not proccing disorders and you're just doing Shock, it's going to be a little bit hard to get as much damage in versus someone like Piper and someone like Bernice and Jane in the future. So right now, I do want to put Grace in B, just because, like I said, although she is a 5-star limited anomaly character, realistically, Assault is just so strong. Right now, she's kind of only disorder bot for the most part in terms of what she's able to do for a team. Rocking main DPS Grace is probably going to fall lower than something like Piper or Jane or any of these other anomaly characters coming in the future. Something like Bernice and all of them. So right now, she's still a good character. Remember, this isn't like a full, like, oh, okay, they're in S tier. They're the only good characters. A, they kind of suck. B, they're bad. D, they're unusable. No. All these characters are technically usable and can be used in the end game, but I do want to say that there are thresholds of power that separate these guys from the rest, and I just think that right now, Grace realistically just doesn't compete with a lot of the anomaly characters that are out at the current moment. So to go with the rest of these characters, all the newer characters, and of course Piper as well, I do want to go ahead and throw Piper probably up here in S. Anomaly is just too strong. Anomaly is too good. Anomaly is overtuned. Anomaly is just way broken in Zenless Zone 0, without a doubt. And Piper has been that way ever since she's come out. I've always said that she was either A, S, but most likely S. I know Piper is super strong. She's going to get stronger, and she's actually a buffer for the team of Sons of Kaldin, because remember, her power stacks buff the whole team. So Piper is going to be a crazy addition to the Jane and also, not Jane team, but the Caesar and also Bernice team, which is going to be a pretty big thing. So Piper is definitely going to be a strong character without a doubt. Like, this is no questions asked. For the S plus tier, Caesar, Jane immediately. To explain, Caesar is God tier. She is literally one of the best characters in the game by far, without a doubt. In all honesty, just because impenetrable shield, unstaggerable shield, gives a damage received buff to the enemy, if I'm not wrong, from her parry, has an attack boost with her shield as well. She also has other things with the new relic set coming out that boost the team's damage, which is pretty crazy. She's able to stun an elite, the Natos or the really rigged robot, almost to 90 to 80 days at level 70, with her being level 60, and one parry alone with the skill that's free if you parry it correctly. Jane is overtuned. I mean, not Jane. Caesar is overtuned. She's one of the best characters without a doubt, and that's something I cannot fight. The next character is Jane. Jane throws out nukes. Jane allows your team to throw nukes. Jane allows someone like Caesar, someone like Piper, someone like Nekomata to drop nukes with their assaults, which I think is a pretty crazy thing. And another thing is that she works with any anomaly character, and especially with the characters coming out with someone like Caesar, with someone like Bernice, absolutely going to do some crazy work. And then right now for Seth, I do think Seth is in the ballpark with how strong Anomaly is right now. I do want to put Seth in A. I do think he's a really good support character for the Anomaly class, because you get that Anomaly build-up rate, you get that Anomaly proficiency, you get the extended health. Really crazy and big things for the Anomaly team, yes. But to say he's right there with Ching Yi and Nicole, I wouldn't say so. They're overtuning their kits in regards to what they're able to do and what utility they give to a bunch of different teams. Seth, realistically, is really good that he is where he's at with the Anomaly team overall. He is a big boost to the health extension to be able to give quick reverse quick assist, which is a really good thing as well for him. And then not only that, all the buffs he provides with the health extension or the shield, which I think is really good. I could borderline put him in S, but realistically, I will put him in A. I still think he's a really great character. And to predict where I think Bernice is going to go, I realistically think she's going to be in the S+++ tier again. Off-field application of Anomaly, off-field application of damage, period, is a really strong thing in every Hoyo game, especially Genshin Impact. When there's an off-field character, they immediately meta, they're immediately S tier because of how strong that is of having damage happen when you're not doing it. So having your active character, let's say someone like Jane, do Anomaly damage, do Anomaly build up, and then you have someone like Bernice being able to burn them, being able to get that Anomaly extension or the Anomaly boost up so quickly with her off the field is a pretty big thing. That's gonna make for not only assaults to happen that are nuking, but also Bernice is gonna be able to proc her own Anomaly disorder, her own Anomaly reaction, which is gonna make for constant disorders between these two. And not only that, she has an off-field ultimate, which is just super strong. So right now, I do think realistically, this is where the tier list lies for the most part. These three are definitely going to be overtuned, overstacked. I think Bernie should be here, most likely, at least, most likely over here in the S, but most likely going to be S++++++. Ellen, Julian, premier DPSs, they're both absolutely amazing. Chingy, universal stunner. Nicole is god tier support. Piper is going to be absolutely insane very soon, and she still is already insane. And if you have Jane, she's already stupid. Soldier and Nekomata, not stronger than Juyin and Ellen, but these guys will be getting buffs and are getting buffs, which they are getting really good buffs, and they're going to be really good very soon. They're already good, but they're going to get buffed even more. Lucy, really great universal attack support, which a lot of people are putting her on a lot of different teams and is getting buffed by these two coming out. Then the next one is going to be Lycan, of course, really good for the Ice team, the Maid team. Really good stunner overall with the stun damage multiplier. Rina's in a weird spot. Like I said, she could be B, she could be A. Seth, amazing support for Anomaly teams, for Anomaly proficiency, Anomaly build-up boosts, which are really big for these types of teams. So Seth is a really good pickup. I'm borderline wanting to put him in S, but seeing someone like Nicole here, I don't know, man. I can't really put him there. Nicole is just another being in terms of power. Colado, really good stunner. Ambi, really good stunner, but not better than stun damage multiplier. Sokaku, really long animations. Attack support's cool, but realistically only on the Ice team. Ben is really great. What he provides, a lot of buffs that a lot of people are underrate him for. Grace, not that great right now in the Anomaly meta. We have a lot of different characters are going to take up her spot. Someone like Seth can do better, in all honesty, in regards to the build-up and being able to throw in that lightning portion of disorder reactions or lightning reactions, period, in the Anomaly team. And then Billy, Anton, and Corin, not that great right now in the meta in terms of how strong they are. But other than that, that's going to be it in regards to the tier list for Zenless Zone Zero. Again, let me know what you think in regards to these places. Let me know if you think someone should go up, someone should go down. Also, let me know how you like the model. If you don't like the model, let me know feedback of things you like, things you don't, all that type of stuff. I would like to know what y'all think about that. And Miyabi, of course, hopefully she's going to be S, even more plus. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.